This is my wallet. This is from a company called Wayfinder, and well, I mean, it doesn't matter that much. Just, it's my wallet. This has really nothing to do with today's video. This video is about today is what's inside my wallet. So let's see, one, now two. These are two nice, crispy 50,000 won notes. Now, if you're not in Korea, you probably don't know what this means, but imagine it's around $100. Somebody in the comments asked me, what bag would I buy if I only had $100? I mean, this is around $100. It's like $90, but you get the point. If I had only $100, which bag would I buy? That got me thinking. What it got me thinking is that maybe I needed a new type of video. So this video is gonna be budget builds, budget bags. So let's get into it. This is going to be a series. Well, at least I hope it's going to be a series, but for today's video, I'm only going to talk about this guy. This is the Evergoods CPL 24 version 1, the OG as it were. I made a video last week that included the Phoenix, which is another Evergoods bag. A new Evergoods bag. And a lot of people said that I was being biased against the Evergoods bag. The thing is, I actually love Evergoods bags. I mean, I love this bag. This is one of my favorite bags literally ever made. I love it. There are a couple of reasons why I don't, like why it's not my be-all end-all bag, but I do really like it. I've been using it for a week to get ready for this video, and I've loved every minute of using it. Well, I mean, I've loved most minutes of using it. I've loved at least 80% of my time using it. I'm gonna tell you why I think this is the best bag you can buy for $100. Now, there's a big disclaimer on this. Obviously, you can't buy this bag new for $100. We're talking used here, but don't be scared of used. Don't be afraid to buy used bags in that market. These bags are built to last forever, and they're built to last for 2, 3, 4 owners if necessary, not that they always will. So, I'm gonna tell you why I think this one is the best for $100. Now this sells for around $100 used. It's between like 90, I've seen it as low as like 60 or 70, and I've seen it as high as 150. But I'd say the average price of it's around $100. This bag was $250 when it was new, or thereabouts. It's a 24-liter backpack. It's a very simple-ish backpack, I guess you could say. There is a version 2 of this bag. Obviously the version 2 is a lot more expensive. Evergoods is a company that was started by a couple of dudes. One guy who originally started with GORUCK and was one of their designers named Jack, and a guy named Kevin who was at Patagonia, and the story goes like that. They basically took all their knowledge and put it into this bag at first. This was their first big thing. And honestly, it's an amazing bag, and those guys are two of the best designers in the business. And I'm going to explain why. I'm going to tell you why I think this bag is very considered. That's how I would call this bag. There are some things I don't like about it, but even those things, they have reasons, they have thoughts, they have considerations. It's not just like throw something at a wall and hope it sticks. This bag is got nothing that is throw it at a wall and hope it. That was a dumb joke. This bag is made of a 500D. I'm not sure if it's corduroy branded, but it's a 500D nylon 6.6. 6.6 stands for basically the strongest, best version of 500D nylon, or nylon in general. And as far as I know, this bag has, like, say, threads going in both directions, which is something to take note of. Apparently it makes it strong. There are some issues with that, and that takes me to my first kind of issue with this bag, and that's that it picks up hair and dust very quickly. I've heard that it's not as bad on the new ones. I have a version 2 of this, and it was equally as bad. It's blue, so you couldn't really see it, but it did pick up hair. I have kind of gotten over it, to be honest. It is what it is. I've got a cat, so I just struggle with it. If you're the type of person that it bothers, then this might bother you. But for me, it doesn't really bother me anymore. Not like it used to, or not like it once did. That's the first thing. But that material, it does feel great. So in my hands, it just feels nice. It feels like it's gonna last a long time. And I mean, if you're gonna spend money, if you're in the budget kind of bag market, you want something that's gonna last. It's gonna take you to class, it's gonna take you to work, it's gonna do all those things. That's one of the reasons I picked this bag, because it can do almost anything. Obviously at 24 liters, it's based on being a bag that you could probably use for your daily carry. It's not specific for travel, but I'm going to show you why you can actually travel with it if you really wanted to. There is a version 2. The version 2 adds some things. I'll talk about that as we go. We're getting long in the tooth already, or long-winded, so I am going to try to get through this before 2023. We can talk about the zippers next. The zippers are YKK number 10 zippers on this main bit, number 8 here, and then number 8 here on the laptop compartment. They are reverse coil, which means, can you see that? You see that? There you go. Ugh. Holy cow, it's heavy. Basically, it means that the teeth are on the inside. That helps with rain. There's a DWR coating on these that helps it to get rid of rain or repel rain more thoroughly. These zippers are they're not the smoothest I've ever used. They're not. And oh, last week when I did the video of the Phoenix, people came out and said I was biased against Evergoods because I was trying to show that the zippers were stiff. Look, before we go on any further in this video, even though it's at 8 minutes, I'm gonna give a slight disclaimer here to all of my videos. I don't have mental energy to try to be biased. I just give you how I feel when I'm using the bag, how I feel when I'm making the video. If it snags while I'm making the video, it's snagged. I made a whole video about a GORUCK bag where the punchline of the video was the zipper snagging. All of these bags have moments like that. If they don't, they don't. But I mean, I'm not trying. I'm literally editing these videos while I'm feeding my baby, while I'm rocking my baby, while I'm trying to put my baby to sleep. I am editing these videos on the side like a crazy person. I don't have energy to try to be biased, so if anything looks biased, I mean, look, I make these videos to try to be like this. Imagine you're sitting there, I'm sitting here, and we're chatting. I'm just telling you how I feel. I'm just unzipping the bag as I would if I was trying to show it to you, and that's kind of it. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. Anyway, these zippers are actually pretty smooth. Even though they're not super smooth, they feel good. I don't know how to explain it otherwise. They're not ultra smooth, but they have like a really nice feel, like you could just rip on them, and I like that a lot. Evergoods, one of the best things they do is that they make the space in each pocket kind of independent of the other spaces in the bag. This front pocket, for example, is all of this space. Now, on the version 2, there is some organization in there. There is not in this one, but I will show you the front pocket. If you look in here, they do use this gray lining, so you can kind of see what's going on. There's a key lanyard in the version 1. I love that. I love that the key lanyard is here because I tend to grab my key as I sling my bag, so having it here makes a whole lot of sense. On the version 2, it's up here. Other than that, there's nothing else in this pocket. Like, it's literally just an empty space. But can you see, even though this bag is super packed out, there is lots of space there. You could put a jacket, probably. I have a little pouch here. This is a little Dyneema pouch. The reason I have it there is because there's no organization here, and sometimes if I need organization, that's there. Look, you're saving money getting this bag. You can just grab whatever. This is my wife's pouch. I just grabbed it, and I stuck it in. And it was free because it was my wife's. And I mean, it wasn't free for her, but you get what I'm saying. That's it for that pocket, and it's a great pocket. It really is. The only issue I have with this pocket is the same issue I have with this pocket, which is that it's on the right side of the bag. So as you look at it, it's on this side, which means that if I have to sling the bag off my left shoulder like this to get into this pocket nicely. The reason for that is that they want you to use your right hand, which is the dominant hand for most people. That makes sense. I get it. The problem is I think that dominant hand people often grab the bag with their right hand, which I do. So that makes a bit of an issue for me. That said, over the last week I've been using this. Yes, Evergoods. I have started to get used to it. I really have. I've gotten better at it. Full stop. Now I will say I like that the handle's on this side because in briefcase mode, it's on the right side of my body. If the handle was on the other side, like over here, then it would be on the left side of my body, which would make less sense to me. So as I carry it in briefcase mode, then that is something that does make a lot more sense. That brings me to these handles. So there is a handle on the top here, It's kind of like a thick plastic with just the same material wrapped around it. It feels very nice. It's nice. It can cut into your hand a little bit. It's very stiff. This is the star of the show for me, which is this side handle. I can grab the bag like this and carry it around as I want. There is a metal stay inside the bag that keeps this structured. I can feel it right here, so that as I hold it, the bag doesn't slouch. Normally what would happen would be you'd end up with a bag that looks like this. It would slouch there, but because of the way the Evergoods boys designed this, it doesn't do that, and that's amazing. And this is probably my favorite feature of this entire bag. So, again, 100 bucks, you're getting a lot here. A lot of design chops for 100 bucks. The straps are actually very nice. They are a little bit short, but the way they're tapered kind of makes them look shorter than they actually are. They have a pass-through here where you could stick like a water bladder or hose. The issue with that is that obviously I don't, use that type of thing, but if you want to, it's there. The second thing I don't really like about this bag is this sternum strap. So basically how this sternum strap works, you see that? It's so heavy and there's a hair on it, is there are these kind of like little ring things, and it hooks there, and it feels quite afterthoughty, and I can just like pull it out way too easily, I think. What I do in reality is I take the sternum strap off my MPL V2, which is another Evergoods bag, and I stick it in here because it's a much better system the way it's built. This part's the same, but this part's a little bit different. I use this on another bag. I just put it on here so I could explain it to you guys, because if you buy this bag used, you're gonna end up with this one. It's not that hard to replace with something else, so don't stress about it, but it is something to note. Very easy to lose. Other than that, the straps feel good, the padding feels good. In all the time I've been using it, the padding has not really gotten like terrible or anything like that. It feels very nice. They are known for this system here, where it's kind of like a yoke on a hiking bag, and what it does is it just kind of hugs around your back, so it kind of hides or hugs your line here of your back. Some people have said that the bag does dig into them here. It does a little bit on me, but not too much, and I don't think that that's a big issue for me. Can be an issue for some, but yeah, the straps are very nice. On the version 2 of this bag, on the V2 version of this bag, there is a zipper here, so that's one of the things you're missing out with your $100 buy, but again, simplicity is not bad. It's not bad. That is probably the only thing I miss from version 2. The rest of the things I don't care about, but I would like to see that on this bag, but then again, I get away without it. So we've gone over the whole basic front of the bag. There's a little patch guy here, which I have a lovely patch on, which you can see. You see that? It's a little crane. There you go. I like that a lot. It's quite pretty, and because the patch is 1x1, I mean, there's not a whole lot that you can stick on there comfortably. One of the things I really like about this bag are the zipper pulls. The zipper pulls are very nice. They're just like very simple, like kind of nylon things. I find them to be very comfortable in use, and they just feel good. I actually rip them off some of my bags and stick them on other things from time to time because I like them so darn much. There is a laptop compartment on this bag, so we talked about this front compartment. Let's talk about the laptop one. Again, this is the V2 or the V1. This is the version 1 of this bag. So I'm gonna take my laptop out to explain a little bit, but I will say that there's nothing in this laptop compartment at all on the version 1. It's just an empty space. You can put a gigantic laptop in here. It's not raised up off the bottom. It's not raised up off the sides. There's no padding at all on the top. The version 2 of this bag has a kind of sleeve inside here that's suspended on all sides. So if that's something that's important to you, then obviously the version 2. But the version 2 is 250 bucks, or even probably 200 used. You're getting into a lot cheaper thing here. A lot of us have a sleeve. Now, probably not as fancy as my sleeve. This is a Nedrolo Magic sleeve. Oh, sorry. You didn't see that, Evergoods. Okay, let me just... Yeah, so there is like, okay, that one's okay. So it's like this magic sleeve, and it kind of holds it like this. Most sleeves will suspend the laptop itself like this one, so it's on all sides. So what I tend to do is I will put my sleeve in here like this, and then I can take my laptop out, put it in, and then it sucks it in. And basically it's as if it's a version 2 because now it's suspended on all sides. A lot of us have that already, and they're pretty cheap on Amazon. I mean, the one I showed you is not cheap, but they are cheap if you really, you know, if you look. Before we get into the main compartment, I do want to make one statement about the way this bag looks. I think it is probably the prettiest, one of the prettiest bags. It's just very nice looking. It's just designed very well. In my Phoenix video, for those of you who watched that, I showed that it looked like it was kind of tapered a little bit. I believe that in use that would kind of work itself out because I've heard confirmation from the guys at Carryology that it's the same pattern, so it's the same. I think, so there's no actual taper is what I'm saying. What I would say is I looked at some old pictures of this one and it did actually kind of look like it had a taper when it was brand new. So that's probably something related to that. As it breaks in, it'll look a little bit, you know, like more square, rectangular. So as I mentioned, it's a clamshell opening bag. That means it opens completely. So here you go. This is how I had it packed out because I took it on a short trip. I have a packing cube here and 2 pouches. In my Phoenix video, again, I keep doing all these disclaimers. I had this, and I had this, and I had a different pouch in here, and I couldn't zip it up. I can barely zip this one up, but this is my bag, so I don't mind wrenching on it. In the video of the Phoenix, I tried actually really hard to zip it and it just wouldn't zip. I was scared I was gonna break it, so I just didn't do it. This is a packing cube that is a GORUCK packing cube. A lot of people have asked me about this in the comments. I've heard it's not on the GORUCK website right now. It's called the full 10 liter. It's called the full 10 liter. It is my favorite packing cube, and this is actually ironically designed by Jack, from what I've heard, the guy from Evergoods. So, thanks Jack. It's a very, very nice packing cube. The other 2 pouches I have in here, this is also a GORUCK product. This is the GORUCK Field Pouch. The reason I have this in here is because if the bag is like this, then I can grab this grab handle here and pull it out. I find that very useful. Again, these pouches are pretty expensive, so you're going over budget here, but you can put any pouches inside. This is a Trakke Laggan pouch. I just have some toiletries and you can use some pills. Inside the bag, they have this gray liner, as I mentioned earlier, that feels very nice. It's, let's see. It's apparently a 420D nylon. Now, there you go. Now I want to make a comment about that. So I've mentioned in my videos before, I've complained about that because it has all the information about this bag, everything, right down to the fact that it says it's designed and developed in Bozeman, Montana, USA. Even though the bag is made in Vietnam, and they hide the made in Vietnam tag back here in the laptop section where they could have easily written it here and just kind of owned it. This bag is built amazingly, so there's no real reason to not own it. What I will say is, some people have commented, well, GORUCK does the same thing. See, GORUCK only writes the name of the bag and lifetime guarantee here, or name of the bag and built in the USA. It could say built in Vietnam, I get it. It's similar in a way, but this literally has every single thing about the bag down to the way you have to wash it. So I think they could have just put it there. But same goes for GORUCK. They could just put it there. They could just kind of own it. I mean, doesn't really matter. Anyway, aside from that little rant there, the liner feels great on this bag. I heard it's like a 50-50 blend, so it's right between white and black, which means that if your stuff is black, shows up well. If your stuff is white, shows up well. There's a kind of sleeve pocket here, which is good. You can stick like a laptop in here if you really wanted to. It's slightly suspended, more so than the laptop section, and there is like a little slits here, so if you're a student, you can stick your textbooks in there and it will like kind of, you know, usually these sleeves, they get weird with textbooks, but not in this case. The corner of the books won't get bent. Very smart design there by Evergoods. And this material feels great and it's actually held up very well. This bag kind of clamshells open a lot easier than a lot of bags. Like my GORUCK bags, for example, when I go like this, I have to like kind of give it a little kick down here to get it to stick out, whereas this one just kind of does it on its own very nicely. Could be that it's broken in and I've used it a lot, I don't know, but I think the V2 was similar. There are 2 pockets over here. There's a very nice mesh pocket here. The pocket's on the same side as all the other pockets, so like technically you could be like in briefcase mode, unzip here, and get into this pocket. I actually do use it like that sometimes. The way they build these pockets, and it same goes for this guy up here, is that this space here floats between this front pocket and this pocket. So you can either fill this one and then, or fill this one and then this one gets crunched, or you can fill this one and this one gets crunched, or you can kind of go in the middle. Very smart design, because some people might carry with a lot of stuff in here, some people might carry with a lot of stuff in here. Somebody asked me in the Phoenix video about, like, if you put a packing cube here, could you also put a jacket? What happens is the packing cube pushes enough on this space that it crunches it all together. So it's tight. It's too tight for that. These bags tend to be slightly tight here. And the reason is, I don't know if you can see that, but the laptop section cuts into the main section by about 1 inch. That makes it so that this section is quite tight compared to like a GORUCK sort of deal. Again, this still fit up here, and I still was able to zip it, so it's not the end of the world, it just is a little bit tight. Opaque pocket. The opaque pocket is where I keep like my quick access stuff. So basically in use, what I do with this bag, and I'm gonna pack it back up just to show you. Now I'm packing it this way for a reason. Heavy thing is here and heavy thing is here. We'll explain why in a second. Now I will put this back in just to show you guys, yes, Evergoods bags can zip up around this. Yes, I'm being petulant and petty. I mean, it's still like, it's tight. But I do love like wrenching on a number 10 YKK, like just kind of giving her, like you just kind of gotta, if you're using your friend's $500 bag, you probably wouldn't want to do that either. The reason I packed it up heavy, the reason I packed it up heavy on the bottom here, that helps it to stand up on its own. This bag doesn't really like standing up on its own super well. The Phoenix does. Even though it's flat bottomed here, can you see how it kind of like, it's not perfect? It's not perfectly flat here. It's got like a little bit of a kind of a curve, and this front pocket gets a little bit heavy. So it will stand up on its own if you put your heavy stuff in the bottom. I tend to put a camera cube in there or something like that. At this moment, the way I have it packed up, it is standing up on its own. Laptop helps being in the back because it kind of gives it some counterweight. It always stands up like this, so if I'm having a bad standing day, because I really love when a bag stands up on its own, I just kind of go briefcase mode and put it down like this. For the last part, I'm just going to say, like, this bag doesn't have any top quick access here like the version 2 has. So what I do is I just use this top one here. So there are 2 zippers you have to go through. So what I tend to do is leave this one like half done, and I can just reach in and grab something like my wallet, which started the video. And I'll probably just leave it like that so I can just grab it. And that's it. Another tip is probably leave these zippers over here on this side, so that like when you're on this side, literally everything's over here. So you can go this way and you can reach into this pocket here, like I have my mask in there. And then you can, these are like actually, somebody said, I watched a video where somebody says for hanging things. It's not, it's actually to just kind of hold for some counter pressure. This is the first installment of budget bags. It's a terrible name. I shall think of a better one. But in any event, if you have $100 and you're worried about what kind of bag to spend, this is very, very much one you could search for. But like if you're looking at bags like a GORUCK GR1, those type of bags, they end up being still $150, $200 in most cases used. This one's not. It's $100, so, or around $100. So obviously there are tons of bags in this sort of space that are also very good. Just in my estimation, when I looked around all the bags I had, this is the one I thought was definitely the best buy at that price. It just is. It just is, because it does everything. I have it packed there right now to travel for a week. And take that packing cube out and it's tight and nice. That's it for my video. It's almost 30 minutes long. I'm sorry about the audio in the last video. My cable was on the fritz. Hopefully it's better on this one. Anyway, bye-bye kids. Hope you have a good rest of your weekend. Catch you on the flip side.